Okay, guys, we are going to look at the group project, and it is due December 2nd, and that's when you'll be doing your online presentation. We'll talk about that. So, all the information is here. Here's the turn on portals, here's the discussion board. So, everything is here. Let's just take a look at the criteria, and I already have it open right here. So I'm just going to go over this a bit. So you're going to do this mainly in the discussion board. So before your group does anything else, and the groups are here, the Kit Kats, the Paydays, the M&Ms, the Snickers, and the Almond Joys. So in your groups, you guys are going to have to decide who's going to be the group leader, and you're going to have to do that through the discussion board. If someone in one of these groups wants to volunteer, put it in the discussion board right off the bat, like today. So, but you guys got to, figure that out amongst yourself who's going to be the group leaders. The group leader will be responsible for putting together the final PowerPoint associated with this project, and we'll go over that. If you choose to be the group leader and you fail to carry out the necessary duties, you will receive a 0 for the project, and this thing's worth 200 points. So, if you're going to be the leader, you need to be responsible and do what needs to be done. You must make yourself available to your teammates. You will not receive extra credit for being the team leader. However, you will receive something much more valuable, knowing that you are a leader and you're able to conduct yourself as a leader. If you watch the video of this week's chapter, talk a lot about leadership in there. So, leaders don't always get the praise they need or extra anything for being a leader, and that's just the way it is in education. So, and a lot of other places. So, if you are the group leader, you will designate times in the discussion board to meet if that's what you want to do. You can do group meetings, you can do whatever you want, but I need to see chatter going on in the discussion board though. You're going to put together the final PowerPoint for this presentation. You're going to provide me with an app that you guys want to demonstrate, with a screenshot of the app and the name of the app at least 2 days before the presentation. That's so I can download the app and look at it, and we'll talk about what that actually means here in a minute. So you're going to put the group PowerPoint up, email 1 day before the presentations, and then help your teammates with any questions you may have. Now, since this is online, we're going to be doing something a little bit different than I do with face-to-face. So we'll talk about that in a minute. We're not going to have like a set time for a presentation. You're going to have a due date to get this done. And instead of presenting like you would online or in face-to-face, you're going to narrate your PowerPoint slides. I want to talk about that in a minute too. I can't emphasize enough, waiting till the last minute will not work here. You've got, this is due literally the Monday after the Thanksgiving break, so you guys got work to do. So you're going to have group work, you're going to have individual work, and I do that because if an individual's not doing anything, they're going to get dinked on their grade, not the group. So or the group leader. So the group leader, you have to have set times to do stuff, and if people don't do it, then they don't do it, and you move forward. So if you're in a group of 4 people and 3 people get their stuff to you, and you make the presentation and you've given them a time to do it, but the 4th one's not doing anything, that's fine. You move on, you do what you need to do. Okay. So as an individual, you will take a screenshot of an app you like and write 6 sentences about the app as a reflection. So that's really the first thing everybody should do, is find an app they like that goes with their lesson plan decision and everything else you've been doing with your lesson plan. You've done a YouTube video associated to your lesson plan decision. You've looked at websites associated to your lesson plan decision. You've looked at sites that are going to help you write a lesson plan associated to your lesson plan decision. Here you're going to look at for an app that might help you with your lesson plan decision. And it could be for an iPad, iPhone, Android, it doesn't matter. Okay, and we're going to look at places to find that in a minute. So that's really the first thing you should do, and then everything else kind of falls in place. So let's look at an example of a screenshot reflection example. So you're going to want to find an app, and we'll talk about that in a minute, of how to of what you want. You're just going to do a screenshot. This person did how to write an essay. This is an app they liked, and then they wrote a decent reflection. Okay, I don't want to see anything in this reflection about what you were supposed to do. Like Dr. White told us we needed to do A, B, and C, and talk about the description of the project and any of that stuff. I don't want to see any of that stuff. I want to see why you chose the app and how it's going to work for you. Okay, so if you go off topic of anything other than a hard targeted reflection on this, just to make sentences up, it's going to cost you your grade. So be aware of that. That people have been doing that all semester, and that's going to end with this, because I'm going to start taking off lots of points if you're not writing about reflecting on why you chose this app. Okay, so this is a really good example. All right, so we'll put that away. Come back to this again. This is like probably the first thing guys should do. The first thing you should do is get a leader, and then this is what you should do. So when you get that done, you can turn that in for that's going to be one of the things you're going to turn in. Okay, you're going to put this on a discussion board. You're going to put it in your wiki, and you're going to turn it in. And I'll show you about that. Then you're going to produce 2 PowerPoint slides about the app you just chose, because that's going to be the presentation. And you want to use bullet points, not just your 6 sentences. So that the reflection we looked at, if you just slap this on one slide and then slap this on another, that it's not going to work, because this is just way too wordy. You're going to have to use 6 bullet points, and I'll show you examples of that too, of how that should go. Okay, because you need to synthesize your sentences so you can discuss them in your narration, and points will be deducted if you do not fully comply with this construct. So we'll look at another example real quick of a bad PowerPoint example. So an individual slide project example. Click on this and take a look at it. So this is on my flashcard apps. Okay, got a screenshot of it, a little description of it, but then they just wrote their words. Okay, that will get you a 0 on this. Okay, that will get you a 0 on this. This is way too wordy, and you're not presenting correctly. So that's the second thing you need to do. You need to do that screenshot and reflection, then make 2 different two PowerPoint slides, and then you're going to narrate. Okay, you're going to narrate them. So the way you do that, there's a lot of ways to do that, and I've got an example of how to do that in here in the information. You need to go down here to how to narrate a PowerPoint presentation, and you need to watch this video. Okay, I would suggest, I'm not going to watch the video, I'm not going to go through this whole thing of how to do it. It's not that hard to do, but you're going to have, another thing you're going to have to figure out. That's part of the fun of this project. Okay, Um, this is very detailed, and if you don't understand this one, just go to YouTube and type this in there, and you'll get a bunch of different ways to do this. Okay, I would suggest you do it on a PC if possible. I haven't done this before, so I'm not sure if a PowerPoint slide done on a Mac platform and then being put on a PC platform will work. It may not. We'll see. Okay. So again, but this is not going to work for you. If you do this, it's not going to be good. Okay. So you've got you as an individual. You've done your research. You found an app you like. You did your screenshot, wrote 6 sentences of reflection. Then you made your PowerPoint app slides about the app where you're narrating about why you like it, what's good about it, so forth and so on. Then you put it on you turn both of these into Blackboard. You put them on your wiki, and you send your PowerPoint slides to the leader. Okay. So the leader then will put the stuff together. Now, so we've got groups of 3 and 4 people. So I can't really show all the apps at once. What I'm going to do is hopefully put them on my iPhone, and then I'm going to demonstrate them, and then I'll put them in I'll make them available for all the groups. But I can't do it for everyone. So I just need you guys to decide which app you want me to look at, or you want me to download. So if the Snickers, Dorsey, Glenn, McSweeney, and Thompson, they've all done their individuals and their slides and stuff, but they all gravitate as a group. They said, well, we like Glenn's. We like Elisa Glenn's best. So that's what you need to send me, okay? And you need to send me the actual name of it and a screenshot of it, okay? So the presentation, so each member will have an embedded narration as demonstrated in the video. If you fail to narrate for the presentation, 50 points will be deducted. You have all the necessary tools to narrate, so this is not a big thing. So again, waiting won't work. You need to get on this thing. And I know it's the end of the semester and there's a lot of stuff going on. You got projects and things going on in other classes, but I've been in this seat many times as a student. That's what we do in a university. It's why you work hard and get your degrees. So you got to get this done. So again, save everything to the discussion board in your wiki. You'll turn in your individual PowerPoint slides as well as your screenshot reflection to Blackboard. You'll turn your individual PowerPoint slide into the IPP for individual PowerPoint TI, and your screenshot and reflection to the SSR for screenshot reflection TI. And that stuff is right here. So these are the 2 portals. You'll turn those into, okay? The IPP and the SSR, okay? And then the grading, you get 50 points for the screenshot and the reflection, and 50 points for your individual slides. And then if you guys pull off a good, if you get all your group slides together, you get that into the leader, and it's all put together, you get 50 more points. And then as the group, if it's a successful presentation and everything works fine, you'll all get 50 more points. Okay. So that is that. Now let's take a quick look at some other stuff going on here. So we have a lot of stuff here. Where do I find a good app? Well, one of the things you can do is just do a search for apps. Like I'm going to look at geometry apps. I'm messing this app up, but we'll see. Okay, so apps on Google Play. So if you're doing an Android, you can look there. There's a ton of apps all over the place. And what you're going to find is like the best 10 apps for whatever you're looking for. Geometry Pad on the App Store, Geometry GeoGebra, 14 best apps, 8 best apps. You're going to get a lot of this stuff. So you need to do your homework. You need to look around, do a little bit of research. Because what I'm looking for is, let's look at this as a GeoBet on the App Store. And this is actually from Apple.com. So that's probably going to take us to the Apple website, which it does. And it's got the Geometry Pad. And what I like to see here with these things is, it's number one, it's free. That's always good. It's not telling me much if it's going to work with an iPad and an iPhone. I tend to gravitate to those more because if you're going to be bringing your own device at school, like we talked about in this last chapter as well, somebody might have an iPad, someone might have phones and stuff and so forth. So I like to look at these and just do my due diligence. If it's free, download it and play with it. It's not getting a whole lot of good reviews though, but it's only 5 reviews. Okay. So you just got to look. Now what else I like about looking at these at the Apple website is they have the reviews, that's true, and they have the stuff, and believe me, I look at these things. So if you're like grabbing this stuff for your reflection, your bullet points, I'll see it, so don't do that. But it'll also have stuff by the developer, and it also has stuff like other things that you may like. So if you see this and you come on here and it's not good reviews and people don't like it, you might look at something else. So you might click on this, and this is again free. I can take a look at it. It's for the iPhone and the iPad. It's got decent reviews out of 27 ratings. It's got decent reviews and stuff. So look at that and look and check out and see what it does. So do your due diligence. Look at this stuff. I do have a link in here to get back to my thing here. Yeah, I do have a link in here to Apple, so you can go in here and look. The problem is there's no there's no real search engine for all this, and there are, probably well over 250,000 apps in here. So if I'm looking for something in starts with the G's, and I'm looking for what I was looking for, I've got over probably 25 things, more than 25 pages of different things that starts with G. So GEO I'm looking at, I have to narrow it down to try to find. So I got Geo Measure, Geo. I've got a bunch of Geo stuff here. There's GeoGebra. So I have to look. So I would advise you just go and do a Google search for apps about what you're doing, and then hopefully it's got a link to the Apple Store and you can find it. Okay, here's the project rubric, and it's pretty straightforward. I will be grading based on this rubric: organization, subject matter, graphics, mechanics, narration, and enunciation. So I will look at all that stuff when I grade these. I'll probably send you a filled out one of these individually as well. Let's see here. What else we got? So let's look at the group project example. So this was actually 4 people, but they only put 3 people on here, which I didn't understand. I really should get rid of these names. But here, way too much words. Way too much words for this. Okay. This is Endless Reader, and they continued with more words. Okay. Again, this will not be good in the grade department if that's it. So that's one of their apps. There's Fuzzy Lunch. There's another app. Again, way too wordy. And then wow, their second slide is just full of words. Okay, it's not going to work. My Math flashcards. I made the font a little bit bigger, but you know it's still that. Not good. Then their fourth one, and again they only had 3 people on the front slide. Way too much. And then good golly, Miss Molly, look at all this stuff. Okay. But so of the 4 apps that they have here, the awesome Upstander, the flashcards, the Fizzy's Lunch Lab, and the Endless Reader, they chose one and they put it on the end, and that's what I need the leader to do too. They chose Endless Reader, and this is what I want. It's, you know, this only has 5. You need 6, but you know it's a simplistic interface, and then you need to talk about why that's important in your individual slides. Okay, it's an eccentric way to teach teachers. You know, it's free. It's available on all devices. It grabs parents' attention. You know, so you know that's what you need to talk about. You know, is it teacher friendly? Is it parent friendly? What's going on with this app? Because a lot of educational apps will let parents see what's going on. So you need to talk about all these things. You need to do a little bit of homework on this. Okay. So again, that is a bad example. I'm not going to show you good examples. Y'all got to figure that one out yourself. Okay. So everything's here that you need to do what you need to do. Now the discussion boards here, I've made forums for each one of you guys. So when you decide the leader, hit create thread and put in, type what you're going to type in for the leader. Okay. And then you can attach files here, so that's not a problem. How do I attach a file? How do I send my person the slides? Just hit browse my computer and pop it in there. Okay. All right. So this is pretty involved, and you can't let this go. You need to really get on it. So if you have any questions, email me. Email me questions. Don't. I guess you could put them on the group me if you wanted to. Then it might be the same question everybody has. So, don't let this wait till the last minute because you'll get swallowed up. Okay. And I'm sure there will be questions. This is the first time I've done this one online. I've done it face to face a ton of times. So there may be some problems, and we will fix them as they go along. And I'll do some of that formative assessment, and at the end of the semester I'll look at all the issues I had with the online class and do my summative assessment and make it better next time. So that is it, guys. Let me know what's happening and get it done.